All right, so this is how you would solve a question like this. Naturally, you enter all of this goes into L1, right? So if you don't have different categories, if you just have a bunch of data, that all goes into L1. It's going to change down the road when you have different categories, okay? So I already went in and I took the time to enter all of these values. I'm still old school, so I'll actually go put my finger on every number and kind of just enter it one by one, not to rush, because even if one of them is wrong, then you will for sure lose at least one full mark. Seems like we're out in the woods somewhere. Oh, this is a cabin. One thing to also note, if you go all the way to the bottom, I don't know why I'm doing it this the long way, but my last entry says 40. And if you do a quick check, 8 times 5 is 40, right? So I'm expecting 40 values or entries to be entered, okay? And then you want to get all this other information. So what we go is we go to one variable stats. So we press stats, go to calculate. We're always going to use one variable stats no matter what. Did I tell you to type in L1 at this point? Yeah. Okay. Whew. On fire. So in terms of entries, that would suffice moving forward. Okay, one variable stats, and I get 2 points. So the mean is the x with a bar on top, 2.18. Okay, so two decimals. I'll tell you this, 2 decimals, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it'll be cases, number of cases. This is a measurement, like we measure to compare to another data set. So it's okay to have decimals here no matter what. Your median, you got to scroll down and then it says median right there, okay? We're talking apple trees, right? The height of apple trees. So what does that mean, median? The middle. So it also tells us that half of the trees are going to be taller than this, right? Higher, like taller, and half of them are going to be shorter than this. That is what the median is. So it's very important. It's used a lot. The government uses it a lot when they talk about income. The median income is $60,000 per family or something like that. So you should know that that means half are above, half are below. The mode, that one you can't do just by looking at this. One more thing, n is equal to 40. I'll just make a note. I didn't ask you for it. But what does n represent in this case? You need to know what that means. In this case, it's number of trees, right? It's the number, like the values you've entered, every single one represents a tree. So 40 trees, I didn't ask you for it, so no deductions whatsoever. Just make a note of that. And the range is found by going max minus min. So the highest value minus the lowest value, right? So 3.3 minus 1.1, that's 2.2 meters. That's that. Mode, you got to go and do a little, you need to arrange your data. Okay, so what I do for mode, that's the only way I know how to do it, is I sort so you press stat. Okay, so this is what you have your home screen, stat, go to sort in ascending order, and then just tell it which column to sort. Once it says done, you go back and it's all sorted. And then you figure out which one or which ones appear the most. And what is it, 2.4? There's two 1.8s, two 1.9s, so we keep going. There's 3 2.2s, but then there's one that appears most often. So in this case, you only have one mode, which is 2.4, okay? So 2.4 is your mode here. I would say it's probably a good idea at first to just say I use sort A to figure that one out, okay? And so 1 mark for each so far, okay? 1 mark for each entry, and then standard deviation, which is like almost looks like a theta, okay? I have to redo I'm just going to go back to my main screen, rerun it, and standard deviation is this one right here, okay, 0.56 of a meter. Okay, let me just do a mode 0.56. So right now, the standard deviation doesn't mean a whole lot to us, but if we compare this to another orchard, right, with different trees, and don't write this part down, but let's say you do, and that orchard has a standard deviation of 1.5, it means that the tree height is, is what? Is spread out more, right? The bigger your standard deviation, the more spread out your data is, and the smaller, the more clustered. So right now we're going to leave this, but I'm just letting you know soon we're going to use this to compare to other data set. Okay, so 5 marks in total. So just out of 5 here. I may use this one again to do the rest later. I realize now that I did do line plots, didn't I? Line plots, does that mean anything to you? Where I put the points on the line, on the numbered line, but I figured I didn't do enough examples yet, so we'll leave that for now. I'm wondering if I should use this as a lesson. No, I'll have that in your booklets, and then we'll do that.